Good morning, April 23rd, 2021. And we are back. It looks like we're going to get another week of skiing out of here. Um, I thought it was all over but the crying like a week ago. And I was going like, hey, everybody, too bad. It sucks. Put your skis away. Get out your mountain bikes. However, since that time, temperatures have cooled and we've had some precip the last few days. Not a ton, but it's starting to add up, 5, 10 here and there. Um, so anyhow, why don't we just take a look? The thing is, it's still spring skiing, right? So it's mostly what you're going to get is dust on the crust. I'm going to be going to Lake Louise. Anybody want to come up Purple Bowl with me? Meet me at the parking lot at 8:30 in the morning. The priority parking right at the front there. Blue Ford pickup, F-150. You'll see me. I'm going to get ready to go. I'll be ready to go around 9-ish or something like that. But if you want to come skiing, come on out. Frank the Tank, hey, hey. It's our favorite mountain guide. You have a favorite? Really? It can't be. That's good. I'm glad I'm your favorite because there's a lot to choose from these days. Frank the Tank, where are you from, Frank? Any place I might know? What do I got going here? View live. Say something live. Um, yeah. So I don't know. Let's take a look at the weather here. Are you from around here, Frank? You gonna come skiing? Oh, Brisbane. Not only can you not ski, even if you could, you'd probably be a snowboarder. You want to hear my Banff accent? You know what? Actually, I set up my phone with I don't have it here, with a Banff accent. It's got this Australian girl that answers. Siri is my Australian accent, my background. Here, I'm going to give you my Banff accent. Now, you just pay attention, listen, because you're going to sound like you're right at home here. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. And Mary's got your rabbits. Mighty good tucker, mate. That's a good tucker, mate. Australians don't have sex. They mate. So I've been told. They definitely do here in town. Brisbane, Australia. Bet you surf though, don't you? I can't surf. I can't freaking. I've tried. I had one board last year. It was so big, it had a ship to shore radio, and I still couldn't get up on it. I'll pull that puppy up on you. There you go. Okay, well, we're going to flip over to our second display, and we will have a look at the weather. Yay! So, Banff. Here's what we're looking at for the weekend, and we've had precip over the last 2 days. Climb, skate, snowboard badly. You guys got some good climbing there, though. I really like to take. I was going to come down there one time and climb for about 8 months or something because my wife had maternity leave and Avon was just born, and then they made a hassle out of it. It's like because I got busted for weed when I was like 18 or something like that, and so your government considered me a danger, and they're probably right there to your citizenship, and so and I had to get all these other papers. I said, fuck it, man. Go take my 50 grand and go spend it somewhere else. So I went to Spain instead. And we spent the winter in Spain. That was freaking awesome. They got some great climbing there. And within Spain, like we were, oh God, what was that? Kelpe is where we were staying. And there's this big, huge tower in Kelpe. It's got rock roots all the way around it. But, it's like a 10 pitch. 10 full-length pitches, not those half-pitch sport climbing types. And yeah, so I ended up going to Kelpe, and I would definitely go to Spain again, although Australia is still on my list of, well, more New Zealand. New Zealand looks nice. I don't know why everybody doesn't live in New Zealand. They have like the Justin Trudeau of prime ministers there. They have that hot chick with great hair. We got Justin, and I hear he has great hair. I don't swing that way myself, but okay, where were we? Oh yeah, so these cooling temps are going to be good, and it looks like they might preserve because we don't have a lot of solar in there. That these the crust might preserve for the entire day. That's right, for the whole day. Yeah, I bet you New Zealand ski hills. We had no. I when I was um, ski patrolling at Sunshine. I was like the oldest ski patroller they ever had. I was like 55 when I. But we had some guys from a few patrollers from New Zealand. And it's like one of the only places where they issue crampons as part of your equipment. Japan would for ice would be better. I don't know. Well, maybe for you because it's close, but I do not think so. It's only like they only have like two spots, and it lasts like a week occasionally. All right. So there's only one place for ice climbing, man. Two places, and that's Canada and Norway. Forget about Alaska. It's too dark and cold. Although it's probably pretty good right now, but I bet you the ice is out of condition too. Ice here is out of condition. Most of it, like 90% of it. There's still a few routes around you could do. And then, so next week I'm going to predict gloom and doom, you guys. That's the end of skiing. Get out your rock rack. Get your mountain bike tuned up. Put some wax on your boards and put them in the back of the closet or wherever the hell you put them. And yeah, just put a loose layer of wax, preserve your bases and then just re-wax them scrape it and re-wax them in the fall. And then, yeah, you should be good. Avalanche Canada, not a lot going on in here. As you can see, in this forecast area up through in here. Observation peak, what did they... Banff, Yoho. So these guys are calling these spring conditions. If the temperatures go down, stability goes up. If temperatures go up, stability goes down, right? It's pretty easy to figure out. And basically what we're worried about is losing that crust from the freeze overnight. That being, I'm not quite sure that the snowpack is warm enough to be isothermal, meaning equal temperature from top to bottom. There may still be a slab in there or two, especially in the alpine. I don't think the alpine is gone summer yet. But tree line and below, I would suspect, is probably getting pretty close to spring and summer conditions. The Parks Canada, what is this? This is Yoho. Yeah, more spring. They have some spring conditions stuff that you can look at, but they're going to be done soon too. They did a big bombing run last week. So what else do we have here? Cauldron. What is this one? Oh, this is. What are these guys skiing on over here? What the hell? Large Bow Summit Abbey. Slide happens sometimes Saturday. Very large wet slab avalanche looks to have gone full path and crashed into Peta Lake. Estimated 20 to 30 wide, 2 to 3 meters deep, where summer trail crosses a slide path right at the bottom of the lake. Right at the bottom at the base of that. Eric Moss, why do people hate on slab climbing? Because it sucks, man. You know who? Well, if you want to slab climb, move to Jasper. Yeah, because they do that there. But you know what? Friends don't let friends climb slabs. Okay, it just isn't done. Right? You want to go crack climbing or any other kind of climbing, but slabs, stay away from those. And I hate slabs. Hate slabs. Friends don't let friends climb slabs. Check out this path. How did these guys get here? I wonder if they walked down the trail. Or did they ski across? But this looks like it was taken mid-path. Internal server error. What the what? Let's go back. Yeah, look at that, eh? Went full path. So this is where it would start of and went down that way. Well, I wouldn't have expecting that. I wouldn't have thought it, because this is north aspect, eh? I would not have thought that would have. And it looks more like it was a point release, but it could have been a cornice too, eh? You see these big cornices? Are those cornices? See if we can't get this one to go. There we go. Yeah. Looks like something came down that chute. Or did it? Something in here. This looks like tracks coming into this. Came into here. I think a cornice broke off. If I were to guess, it might have been the trigger for this. That was a slab. I know, Frank. Slab is fab. Oh, come. Eric. Come on. You're just trying to get my goat, aren't you? Huh? You're just trying to see if you can get a reaction out of me. If I can reach in through this computer screen and grab you. Slab is fab. My God. Okay, where was I? Analyzing this sucker. Huh, interesting. Interesting, guys. Where are we here? This. There we are. Oh, Avalanche Canada. We were on this. Take a look at another one here. Oh, I legitimately like it. Nothing but friction and will. Oh, God. Gag me with a spoon, why don't you? Gag friction and will. Nothing but friction and will. Move to Jasper. You'll love it there. They got nothing but fucking slabs, man. Nothing but. So this called for 2. I don't see 2 postings there. Why? Another regional posting in here. This is where the most of the skiing takes place, up on these slopes here, guys. Nothing new. Let's take a look at the Bow Summit. -9, -8 overnight. So it's like -7 up there right now. Midnight it was -10. So that's a pretty good freeze, eh? Yeah, you know, I should start doing some more of those. I got I had one of these American guides. A couple of these guys co-wrote a book, and it was for technical stuff that's far, you know, it's not just because I've done all of the freaking, you can't do any more how to tie a knot videos. I mean, there's 240 videos on how to tie a knot. But I could redo some of them because they just have better cameras. Some of that stuff was done in the 90s, right, with a high-8 camera. And in those days, the only way we could edit was like 2 decks and like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. The multi-pitch stuff too, yeah, I haven't really done a ton of that. But I could do that with Avon because she's multi-pitch climbing now. And she's kind of keen on learning camera work. Her big dream is to become a YouTuber and live in her van. And just climb and ski year round and make a ton of money as a YouTuber. I said I had no problem with that, but I still want to see her go to law school or something. So you guys can start pitching in, right? You know, give her into her cubicle fund. She might end up having to be a mountain guide, God forbid. She needs a real job. Yeah, you know, I should do that, eh? I should script out a couple of, because I think multi-pitch is one of the things that people could use more practice at or more information on. Although it's not that complex, there is some stuff to worry about, you know, like rope management. Rappelling is probably another one that could probably be redo. And the easy ground, moving quickly stuff. Yeah, that is too, eh? Taking in coils, using natural protection. Because that's the thing too, is like, you know, on these big multi-pitch climbs, the ones that aren't bolted, you know, we're getting more and more of them are multi-pitch sport climbs that are bolted these days. And a little bit of the mixed stuff is coming around too, where, you know, on the blank sections, they'll throw in a bolt, but as long as it takes good gear, they kind of leave it alone. Those ones are a little bit easier to do. I wonder, eh? Huh. Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, you do got to be careful with when you're publishing these videos, and because who's going to use them? One thing, I guess you had to put in a disclaimer, you know, because some of this stuff will be a little more advanced. And if you don't have your basics down, you could sort of get yourself in trouble, I would think. I think. But yeah, I should. I mean, I'm kind of looking for projects. I should live stream these things. Should I have a live stream sessions? Like I could set this, once it's nice out, I could set this up in my backyard like a studio sort of thing with a bolted thing on the back, and then I could go in between using my computer display like I'm using this one, and then live session, and then I could do that for basic stuff like for beginners. Reasons, not rules. Well, for every rule, there's a reason to break it. I guarantee you that. And they're, you know, like they say in the Pirates of the Caribbean, it's more like guidelines, you know? There's guidelines. Remember that one video where I go like, hey, you know, I'm driving along and I'm drinking a beer and I'm rolling a joint and, you know, and I say, hey, you know, when you start climbing, your hands are or start driving, your hands are at 10 and 2, right? And you're really attentive. And then like 20 years goes by and, you know, you've done driving to your oil rig and black red earth back and forth all winter sort of thing. And yeah, now you can like steer with your knee, crack a beer, roll a joint, all this whole other thing. And you know, and then go back to your one handed sort of thing. So climbing's kind of like that. When you start out, you got to follow the rules. Basically, if you don't know what you're really doing, and then if you don't know what you're doing, yeah, follow the rules. But you sort of modify that as you get more and more experience. Like you know, the people I see that are, you know, like the rule oriented, they tie a knot in the end of the rope, but they're on a single pitch crag, right? Like or a half rope. So both ends of the rope are touching the ground, and they still tie a knot, and they put in their precip, right? And so, you know, it takes them forever to inch their way down. These people drive me nuts, actually, by the way, if I'm guiding them and they insist on putting that precip on. Because I end up insisting they not put that precip on because I want to get frickin' out of there, go get a beer, get knee crawling drunk, and then cry myself to sleep like I do every other night. So, you don't really, you know, when you do that precip thing, I think it was Eric who was asking me about that before. And it's just when things are out of the normal, right? So, you know, you're on a big multi-pitch route or you're wrapping down and you know you're going to have to build an anchor. Yeah. Or you're worried about rock coming down like your rope. And in the Rockies, there's lots of places like that. Australia, not so much. Your rock is pretty good there, from what I understand. But yeah, and then I'll put the precip on and be glad I did it. But until then, I don't really, you know, bother with it too much. If I know everything is going to be hunky-dory normal and I'm coming down to the standard anchor and the rock is clean, you know, it's a standard route, then I worry a little bit less about it. But Okay, let me think about that, Frank. I really am looking for projects with this COVID thing going on. I don't really guide too much anymore either. So, but doesn't mean I don't want to do things. And I might as well take this big brain of mine and I'm near the Glasshouse Mountains. The best routes are chas. The best routes are chaslas. Good chas. 2 steps up and 1 step down. Glasshouse Mountains. Just check out your mountain range, buddy. Glasshouse Mountains. I can't believe that. Ooh, what kind of... The Glasshouse Guide to the Glasshouse Mountains. Tourism Australia. Dude, that ain't a mountain. Got news for you. That ain't no mountain. That's a foothill. Are those the mountains in the background? Or is this it here? Queen's Glasshouse Mountains are found in the hinterland of Queensland's Sunshine Coast. South of the Sunshine Main hub Noosa. North of the state's capital city, Brisbane. A natural playground for walking tracks, horse trails, Don't say shit about rock climbing, dude. I'd love to stay there, though. This is cool, eh? Sunset, Mount Ngungun. Is that Aboriginal original name? Ngungun sounds like it, eh? Gubby Gubby. The Gubby Gubby don't speak publicly about why the area is significant to them. But as you reflect upon the spectacular turning view of the land, you see that there's certainly a feeling of spirituality in the area. Huh. Nice place, eh? You guys are kind of lucky with the weather. God. People always come here in the summertime and go like, hey, the weather's so great here, blah, blah. Or it's so nice here in Banff. You love it. You love it. You're so lucky to live here. Yeah, like for 3 months of the year. The rest of the time it's winter. And you get tired of winter. Oh, volcanic plugs. Ah. They would be choss, wouldn't they? Ah. That's cool. Boy, they must be billions of years old, those things, huh? Hmm. See what they have in the glass. They live in glasses. They're gorgeous. Wait, I wonder what they, well, it's good, it's good to let the indigenous names preside. Here in Banff National Park, this is the thing that really bugs me is like fucking, this Palliser expedition came in 1857 into here and, no treaties were signed, no anything. They were just out to check, see what they could rape and pillage for the Canadian government, which was in the process of purchasing the Hudson's Bay land holdings of Rupert's Land, which was about the size of Australia, Rupert's Land. And they came in and named everything after themselves, every freaking thing, despite the fact that people lived here for 11,000 years. You think they would have had names for stuff, right? Not these guys, man. And then when they were done, the frickin' railroad came in and they named everything after themselves that wasn't named already. And then when they were done with that, there wasn't much left, but then came the surveyors, MacArthur and the boys. And they fucking named everything after themselves, too. So now there's like 3 mountains in the entire Canadian Rockies that has like indigenous names left on them. And then they have, just last year they changed Stony Squaw, which is a terrible reference, an indigenous reference. Chaucelicious. Oh, you know what, Frank? I should hook you up with Eric Moss. You guys could climb choss and do slabs and live happily ever after. Which Glasshouse Mountain is the easiest to climb? Oh, the story behind that, dude. I am so fucking done with those guys, man. Here's the totem you're talking about. Right. So the totem, bang. And this, I have no idea. This almost looks, I don't know where this comes from, but this is a totem pole that is, and it's not a totem pole, right? Because but it's still something that looks traditional. And this is what it looks like, right? And it sits on this in front of the road, right in front of this hotel, which has tourist traffic of about 2-3 million people must walk by this a year. And they're displaying this as if it's indigenous art. The thing is, these here, this headdress, this is Plains Indian Hollywood headdress. This has nothing to do with anything indigenous. This first picture, this is unmistakably a Plains Indian sort of braided hair. The eyes look Asian and the nose looks African, right? Like this, and this is a town of Banff. I talked to the town of Banff, see if they would do anything about it. No, like they talked to me, and then they got this other guy, Randall McKay, and he's supposed to be in charge of the indigenous thing, but his wife just so happens to also be the assistant manager of this hotel. Randall McKay is supposed to be in charge of the indigenous relationship stuff with the town of Banff, but he doesn't fucking do anything about this. So, and this whole thing too, like this, I have no idea, like why the eyes and these teeth, like this has nothing to do. And the other thing, these Plains Indians are not a totem culture, right? They didn't have that. This is from the West Coast, completely the Salish of the Northwest BC on the ocean. I mean, they had a salmon fishing and salmon culture, so their life was a little easier as far as feeding themselves, so they could create a more complex religious society, and so totems became, something that was deeply ingrained in their society. However, this is not a totem. They don't have human figures like this. Look at this one, eh? Like, there's distinctive necklace feathers, some sort of painted on beaded thing. And then why the tongue sticking out? I don't fucking get this. But anyhow, yeah, this is, anyhow, I phoned the manager. I tried to get hold of him. He wouldn't get hold of me. I got hold of the town. Town got hold of him and said, hey, give this guy a call. He's a pain in the ass. He talks to me and I say, look, dude, what are you doing, man? That's, if I put a black guy on the bottom, a white guy with a whip in his hand, and an Arab slave trader on top, that thing wouldn't last an hour in this town. Or if it was a reference to somebody who was gay or any of those things, I don't care about any of that stuff. What your sexual orientation is, or if you're trans or whatever the fuck, just leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. But this is more an offensive. Can you imagine if you're a young Blackfoot kid and you're coming up and your first visit to Banff is a beautiful place, right? Then you came into town. This would be one of the, you have to drive by this. If you come in on the Norquay exit, you have to drive. This would be the first thing that you see when you come into town. And you look at that, and that's what, in this age of reconciliation, they got this fucking thing going down. Anyhow, thanks for reminding me. I got to get hold of these guys and deal with this again tonight. Now you got me going, man. Now you got me going. Got my blood riled. I'm going to go out there and kick some ass. Kick some honky ass. Get that frickin' totem down. Oh yeah, I wanted to. You got me off track here, you guys, today. For some reason. Well, I'm not really on track. Never was on track. We were gonna look at. You want to see what Lake Louise looks like right now? Check that out. Hmm? Hey, Frank, the tank. Those are mountains. See that? Take a good look. Them there are mountains. You can't see them all. I can't see how high they are, but they're because of the clouds. But there's some bigger ones coming up here in a second. So it looks like they've got a fair bit of precip. Probably, I'm guessing 10 to 15 overnight. Let's check the lake. Lake Louise. Lake Louise.com conditions. And what did we get? 6 centimeters overnight. 6, and probably got 6 the other day. 15 in the last 24 hours. So 9 yesterday, or 24 hours. Yeah, so that's pretty good. You know, that'll heal it up. We're gonna get another, or just burn it. I would like to actually. I mean, that thing shouldn't stay up because the thing was too, like there was a store, the Banff Indian Trading Post, and Karen Garber, the manager slash her mother owns it, but she's kind of managing slash owner of it. Where is Karen? But she took down her. Oh, I was looking at the Skokie thing too, eh? This was at the Skokie Lodge where I stayed at. This was a picture that was in our cabin, and this is another thing. This is like the dead Indian thing that people are comfortable with. Live Indians, they don't want to see, whether they don't want to see the poverty, they don't care about, whether they're construction workers or business people. This is the only image of Indians. Because I feel like I'm at liberty to say Indians because I'm indigenous myself, but I suppose I should be saying First Nations. But anyhow, that's like, I'm Métis. I can call myself a half breed, right? You can't call me a half breed. Another Métis could call me a half breed. I can call them a half breed, but it's kind of like the N word with black people. Anyhow, this was there, and it bothered my daughter a bit. She couldn't take her eyes off of it. But they always dress them in this, this Hollywood makeup sort of thing, right? Like the beaded gloves and the blanket, and of course the headdress you have to have, and all that sort of thing. Then they stick them into that garment, and they uh, display that. Like that's the native that people are comfortable with. So I was staying in the same cabin here as Prince Arlie Philip. Is it Philip? Okay, man, you got oh yeah, you're right. Number one, your mountains are real. Okay, hey Frank the Tank. Later, buddy. We'll catch you later. Good talking to you. We'll be back. I'll think about doing some more videos. Snowfall. Okay, buddy. And we don't really have all that much. I was looking at Bariloche, 5 days solo. Glacier National Park, 2 days. Looking at Mark Clausen's personal climbing resume. Sport, multi-pitch, mountaineering, training. Anyhow, guys, get after it. There's one more week of skiing left, and then that'll be it. And that's about it. I haven't got anything to say, I haven't anything to add. Avalanche conditions start really early, end really early. Get home early, and you will be a happy camper. Anything else is probably not that great of an idea. I'm going to be at Lake Louise tomorrow. Meet me at the priority parking lot, blue truck. Got a piece of duct tape on the back fender or the back box, and the Ford F-150. You'll know me. And let's go touring. I'm going to go up Purple Bowl tomorrow. Conditions are going to be good. Stability is going to be good. You got to have a ticket for the hill, but that's no big deal. And we'll go. You can come ski touring with me. How's that, eh? Ski touring with the great Mike Barter or Joe Mackay, whichever you prefer. But I am going to end this stream. You guys have a great day. End stream.